Politicians in Victoria are under starters' orders. Premier John Brumby went to see the state governor this morning, setting the wheels in motion for the November the 27th poll. Labor is seeking a historic fourth term, while opposition leader Ted Baillieu is promising to fix the problems, build the future. State political reporter Josie Taylor says it's going to be a tight result.
It certainly is, Ros. All the indications are that this is certainly Labor's election to lose. They're an 11-year-old government. They have a lot of baggage that they've been carrying around with them, and the polls are indicating that voters are perhaps growing a little bit weary of this government. The last Newspoll showed that Labor's primary vote was down to 35%. The coalition was at 40%, and the Greens were at 19%.
Well, Greens 19%. How big a role will they play?
They're certainly shaping up to be in the box seat for this election. As that Newspoll indicates, up to 1 in 5 Victorians are looking like they might vote Green. And this has certainly got people in the Labor camp very worried. In fact, 2 cabinet ministers look like they're likely to, could possibly lose their seats to the Greens. In one of those, the Education Minister, Bronwyn Pike, in the seat of Melbourne, is running against a high-profile barrister, Brian Walters. And over the last few days, there has been what some people are calling a targeted smear campaign against him. He has represented a former Nazi war criminal about 10 years ago, and in a more recent case is representing a power company. There have been a number of newspaper articles being critical of that, saying it's in conflict with his role as a Greens candidate. And this is what Brian Walters had to say on ABC local radio this morning.
I mean, here we have the rise of the Greens, and the major parties are not able to respond with innovative policies. Instead, they react in this gutter style of attacking people, and it's kind of more like Richard Nixon's 1970s rather than modern Australian democracy.
So, Josie, it is day one of the election campaign. What have the leaders of the 2 main political parties been doing?
Well, Ros, there's already controversy over the Premier's decision to drive up to Government House this morning and hand over the writs to the Governor. The opposition is saying there's actually no need for that to happen today, given it's a fixed-term election. The writs aren't actually issued formally until 6 p.m. tomorrow night on Melbourne Cup Day. So, crucially, the opposition is saying that this was just a publicity stunt, and it certainly got a lot of attention this morning. We had the cavalcade going up to Government House and all the television crews there filming it, which perhaps they may not have done tomorrow morning on Melbourne Cup Day. So the opposition is saying that that's already an attempt just to grab the headlines, and it seems that it might have worked today.
And Ted Baillieu, what's he been doing?
Ted Baillieu is out at Mount Waverley, which is one of the most marginal seats in Victoria. It also is where a Labor cabinet minister stands to possibly lose her seat to the coalition. Now, he'll be making a law and order announcement this afternoon, and that's, of course, one of the key issues in this election campaign.
Josie, thank you.
Thanks, Ros.